This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark. In just a moment, I'm going to talk about an offer exclusive to you and my audience that I believe will benefit you just as absolute as much as it has benefited me over the past several years. Before I get to that, though, let's talk a little bit about the confirmation hearing of Ketanji Brown Jackson, Joe Biden's nominated pick for the Supreme Court to replace Stephen Breyer. Now, as would be expected, there is a lot of flourish on the part of Republicans, a lot of hand-wringing and theatrics in their opening statements yesterday, and there are three in particular that I want to talk about. Just three. But before I do that, let's talk very briefly. You may have seen this circulating on Twitter yesterday, this chart that really goes through the qualifications, the life of experience that Judge Jackson has relative to other judges who have been appointed. Having gone to a public high school, all of them, except for Amy Coney Barrett, went to an Ivy League school. I believe she went to Notre Dame because she is a Catholic of varying degree on the spectrum of fundamentalist. She clerked for a Supreme Court justice. She was a public defender, actually working in the system. She was on the Sentencing Commission, a district judge, and a Court of Appeals judge. She ticked all the boxes. She is the only judge. She's the only one of all the judges who currently sit who tick all the boxes. She is immensely qualified, tremendously qualified. And they are going to try to chip away at her qualification. Some of these judges were never judges prior, which oddly enough is relatively common. Rehnquist was never a judge before becoming the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Roberts was the Court of Appeals judge, and that was it. And he is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. So keep this chart in mind. The wildly qualified Ketanji Brown Jackson is going to be attacked. Her integrity is going to be impugned. They are going to try to create a narrative where they justify their no votes on her nomination, on her confirmation, rather than talk about the merits of her pick and her qualifications. Some of these people voted for her to confirm her to the bench in previous nominations that she had, and they will flip and flop and flap their lips in an effort to justify their no vote this time. Because my wager would be that we get fewer than 5 or 6 Republicans to vote yes on her nomination. I got 3 clips to play relative to her treatment yesterday in the senator's opening statements. But before I get to that, a word from today's sponsor, Surfshark. Now that we're getting back out and about, I realize that I have forgotten many of the trials and tribulations of travel. Whose eyes have access to that free airport Wi-Fi anyway? And is that where all these pop-up ads are coming from? In the same way that your wallet can be a potential target in a crowd of people, your personal information can easily be preyed upon when you're online in public places. You often don't even realize you are surfing exposed when you're at restaurants, at the mall, at the airport, etc. Your data can be compromised anywhere you are using the internet, even while you're at home. For just over $2 per month, Surfshark can be there to protect you. Sign up now for 83% off of a 2-year plan with 3 extra months for free at surfshark.deal/Dollemore and let Surfshark go to work for you. Surfshark offers so much defense for so little money. You can run Surfshark on all of your devices, whether they be Mac or PC, Amazon Fire Stick or Chromecast. Their Surfshark alert feature also will immediately update you if your personal information appears on a leaked database. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try all of Surfshark's features risk-free. Don't miss your chance to support this channel and get 83% off of a 2-year plan with 3 extra months for free. Enjoy the internet everywhere and with total security for just over $2 per month. Go to surfshark.deal/Dollemore and use code Dollemore to start browsing safe today. First, let's start with the venerable Ted Cruz. The laughably political Ted Cruz. A man who for years feigned legitimacy as someone with principles. Some libertarian adjacent ideology. But he is just a craven political operator now. A liar. A grifter. A Trump butt licker. Boot licker. Excuse me. Here he is invoking, as was kind of the order of the day for Republicans, invoking the Kavanaugh trial in this particular confirmation hearing, kind of signaling that there's going to be payback. Watch this.
No one is going to inquire into your teenage dating habits. No one is going to ask you with mock severity, do you like beer? But that's not to say this hearing should be non-substantive and non-vigorous. In this hearing, this committee has a responsibility to focus on issues, to focus on your record, to focus on substance.
And if you expect substance from Ted Cruz, you will be sorely disappointed. Ted Cruz is a man so severely bereft of substance that we're left with him palling around with the trucker convoy morons. That's how he spends his time as a United States Senator. On stage at CPAC screaming freedom like he's on the set of that Mel Gibson movie Braveheart. Gross. And no one asked, do you like beer? That was a volunteered thing from Bart O'Kavanaugh, boofer extraordinaire. I like beer. I'm crying now. That spectacle of a Supreme Court hearing, I hope you remember. Next up is Lindsey Graham making a strange admission, really telling us where it stands relative to the Republican Party by just admitting that we're going to be called racist. But you know what? We're used to that, he says. Watch this.
Remember, he didn't make the cut. Well-lived life just completely ruined. So if you're Hispanic or African-American conservative, it's about your philosophy. Now it's going to be about the historic nature of the pick. It's going to be about your philosophy. The bottom line here is when it is about philosophy, when it's somebody of color on our side, it's about we're all racist if we ask hard questions. It's not going to fly with us. We're used to it by now, at least I am. So it's not going to matter a bit to any of us. We're going to ask you what we think you need to be asked. And Senator Hawley, you need to ask her about her record as a district court judge. You should. I hope you do. And we'll see what she says. Very fair game.
Of course, it should be about her judicial philosophy. That is an important question to get to. But to preemptively say, oh, we're going to be called racist, but we don't care. We're used to that. That says something. Because you know who isn't used to being called a racist? People who don't act racist. People who don't hold and harbor racist beliefs. People who don't dog whistle, if not bullhorn, to the white supremacist base of the Republican Party. They don't get called racist. Lindsey Graham is a man so devoid of principle that he turned his back on his best friend, John McCain. The way I understand it, he is persona non grata among the McCains. Ostracized for his obsequiousness to Donald Trump, his fondness of the flavor of Donald Trump's boot polish, and his abandonment of any loyalties that he once shared with any other former friend. This next and last clip is Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee. One of the absolute, listen, a lot of these people have staffs. A lot of these people have people write questions for them, but that they take a role in the formulation of the questions. And it is obvious when some people read that they had a hand in the crafting of the question and what the substance of the question is. It is clearly not the case with Marsha Blackburn, who is just reading something that somebody else wrote. She is simply reading the words, not even sure if she's comprehending their individual meanings, certainly not understanding the overall meanings of what she's saying in the questions, because this is just dog whistle, red meat, culture war bullshit to the base. Watch this remarkable moment from a sitting United States Senator doing what is arguably one of the most important things that is tasked to them by the Constitution in the confirmation of a Supreme Court Associate Justice. Simply gross. Watch this.
Attempt to pack the Supreme Court. You have praised the 1619 Project, which argues the U.S. is a fundamentally racist country, and you have made clear that you believe judges must consider critical race theory when deciding how to sentence criminal defendants. Is it your personal hidden agenda to incorporate critical race theory into our legal system? These are answers that the American people need to know.
These are not answers the American people need to know, because they are all false, fake ideas, fake things that are going on in the United States. To invoke critical race theory as though it's an endemic problem in the United States is just red meat again for the frothing white supremacist base, and especially her constituency in Tennessee. Not all of them. It's not an indictment of you if you live in Tennessee, but you know your neighbors just as well as I know who your neighbors could be. It's not great. I come from a similar state in the Union of Idaho with similar histories and people who gravitate there because of the cohort that can be developed. Listen, this is going to be a long week, especially for the nominee. I'm going to continue to cover it, but it was an inauspicious first day. And it's going to be a razor-thin margin. If you have it in you and you think it might do well, and you got a senator who might be on the fence, maybe give a call, maybe write a letter, maybe send an email to get your voice on the record. Another way to get your voice on the record, certainly not with the Senate, but with me, you can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. The most immediate way to have a conversation about this, to help move the conversation forward, is in the comment section. I'd love to see you there. Follow me on social media. You can scream and yell. Tell me how wrong I am there. And if I bring you some value, I would appreciate you considering supporting my work, producing my work right here on the platform. You can click the join button below this video, see what's involved in becoming a YouTube channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, or you can head on over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.